And welcome to The Bottom Line, where we break down some of the main business and economic stories of the day. Poland does its best to fight on multiple fronts as it tries to reconcile its energy needs with climate policy. The country has made efforts to revamp its energy mix completely, but also attempts to help everyone else get on the green bandwagon. To discuss those issues and to tell us more about Poland's stance, I'm now joined by Krzysztof Bolesta, Polish Deputy Minister of Climate and Environment. Thank you very much for joining us in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
So let's begin with energy aid from Poland to Ukraine. Is Poland able to further assist Ukraine with additional energy transfers should the need arise?
Of course, this is something that is very on our minds. What happens to Ukraine, especially now during the winter? If the winter is harsher, then conditions in Ukraine might require further assistance. Poland, of course, stands ready to help. We have been working in previous months to make sure there is a decision at European level to increase the capacity of at our external borders, not only in Poland but also in other countries, bordering Ukraine. The capacity that will enable us to send more electricity to Ukraine. Poland wants to increase electricity transfer if needed. If Ukraine asks for it, then we stand ready. So this is absolutely something that we want to do. Another thing that we are going to do is that from 1st of January we have the European presidency, European Union presidency, and we are coordinating the European effort. And part of that task is also focusing more on Ukraine in terms of energy cooperation.
So the efforts and the resources are there?
Yes.
Okay. Let's just also note, but there has been no mention of additional energy bridges from Poland to Ukraine in PSE's strategy. Just for our viewers, PSE is Polskie Sieci Energetyczne, Poland's electricity transmission operator. So that's from a practical, material point of view, there was no mention of that. So does that get in the way? Is that something that needs to be considered in terms of, the desire and the resources you say are there? The efforts are being coordinated, but, from a logistical point of view, that's something that has to be taken into consideration.
Indeed. Having said that, we are focusing on this winter. So there's no way we'll be able to build an extra line or extra bridge as you defined it. If we want to help Ukraine this winter, then we have to rely on existing capacities. And what we have done in Europe, we have an agreement to increase the capacity, technical capacity. So say there is a line between Poland and Ukraine, and it has a fixed technical capacity to send X megawatt hours of electricity. So you could increase this capacities to send more power with the same part of bit of cable. So it is possible to increase the capacity without actually building new stuff. Of course, when we switch focus to rebuilding Ukraine, helping them with the reconstruction effort, then we will focus on also possibly building new lines. But for this winter is using existing infrastructure with and what we could do with the existing kit.
Sure. Okay. Just going back to Mario Draghi's groundbreaking report from last year, it was supposed to propel change, groundbreaking change in the EU. And if there's something that we can all agree on, it's the high prices of energy, electricity. What can the EU do about it? Is the EU going to do anything about it?
Well, again, we are now leading the work at the EU Council. So we have the initiative to discuss certain things, and it's fair to say that everyone jumped on the Draghi's report and its conclusions because it rightly points out many problems.
Urgent problems.
Urgent problems as well. We are fast losing our competitive edge over certain countries and losing it fast. We are behind China in many technologies, many clean tech technologies. So we really need to find our European way again. A first step for us in our ministry is to actually try to find a way how to reduce energy prices in Europe, because we are far behind the US, China, so there's no way we can compete at this level of energy prices we have today. So we are trying to see what costs we can cut, how we can cooperate more to actually balance out the cost at European level. There are ways how to cut the cost of energy.
Well, Poland is number one at that level.
Well, taxes are difficult because it's always
hidden taxes.
Hidden taxes, yes. Also, but there is also a directive, a European piece of legislation that is trying to harmonize energy taxes, but that's difficult to agree on because every country, in terms of taxation policy, has a right to veto. So even one country, one member state, has a different opinion, then the whole discussion stops.
Poland is working towards more wind and nuclear energy. Obviously, nuclear energy is high on that list of ambitions. Should European funds be used more for the development of nuclear projects and technology in general, in your opinion?
We think that this is the right way. Of course, today the focus in Europe, and has been for a while, has been on renewables. But we think that Europe needs technological neutrality, because if we want to agree, if you want to reach ambitious climate targets, we need all technologies that we have in our portfolio. And that includes nuclear very much. So if we want to keep on reducing emissions, we need nuclear, more nuclear in Europe. And every member state should have the right to help nuclear technology and maybe even use European funds for that.
And moving on to some more domestic issues, Poland's so-called Clean Air program. So as a reminder to our viewers, this is one of the key tools in Poland when it comes to climate policy. It's all about removing those old gas stoves. But there was a little bit of a problem with that because there was a case of misappropriation of those funds towards the end of last year, about 600 million zloty. Isn't this a case where the EU should look into what happened to those funds, given that EU funds are allocated to that? And another issue is that there is a bit of a deadline in terms of exchanging those stoves. By the end of this year, those gas stoves should be fully replaced, and we still have about 3 million gas stoves in the country in homes that aren't properly insulated. How are you going to address this issue? How are you going to make use of this so-called program that is supposed to really address some key problems?
Yes, so there's many different things that were included in your statement. First of all, the Clean Air program is still the most successful program in terms of improving air quality in Poland. We have managed to sign around 1 million agreements to swap old coal boilers, mostly not gas, coal boilers, into new cleaner sources of heating. And now we have recorded in recent months certain problems. We hear that consumers are not happy with certain investments, and also some of the money were sort of not wrongly allocated, but we got signals that might be some problems with overspending on certain items, and these all these applications that, as you say, amount to 600 million zloty, they are being assessed. So not the whole amount was misappropriated, but they are at risk. So we are not going to replace gas boilers, because you can still have gas boiler. It's perfectly legal, and it will remain to be legal. We want to replace coal boilers, old coal boilers that are the biggest source of pollution. And that will continue to work in the coming years. We are now almost ready to apply to the European Investment Bank to get us around 10 billion zloty for the next phase of the program that will kick off on the 31st of March.
Okay, Krzysztof Bolesta, plenty of other questions, but we'll just have to bring you back in.
Thank you.
And we were joined by Krzysztof Bolesta, Polish Deputy Minister of Climate and Environment. Thank you so much for joining us today. I was your host, Marie Cato. Join us every weekday for Business Arena at 5 p.m. CET on TVP World. And for the latest in regional business, follow us on X and on tvpworld.com. And for more news and features, stay with us on TVP World. Goodbye.